those of you who know about my spiritual awakening, and I tend to have when I go through a series of a spurt of awakening, a new awakening, I have like 100 hours of a very focused time, and that 100 hours this time is actually happening in spurts, and will finish after the solar eclipse tomorrow. So it's very very unusual and quite an exquisite experience. And usually when that happens, I'm blessed with a new gift, and it's always a wonderful surprise that surprises me. So we'll see what that is. I'll share next week.
What is to be done tomorrow for the eclipse?
Yes, it's a very important day at a planetary level. Again, it's one of the days that has been written about in pretty much every scripture, has talked about this particular eclipse in 2020. And some are calling it, like the end of the world and end of this calendar and all that sort of stuff. Now, I just tune into the energetics of it. The energetic forces that have come together, it's very much orchestrated and led by two particular archangels. One is Archangel Metatron, and the other one is Archangel, he's not an archangel, he's an ascended master, Apollo. And it's like a series of triangles that are coming together in a very unusual star-like formation that is going to enable, like I call it the end of the matrix world, which is a world that we have been living in. And there are many of us that have been transcending the matrix world, and really landing into the world that as it truly is. And from tomorrow onwards, literally all Archangel Metatron and Apollo are leading the way. And there are many other entourages. We've done a massive body of work. Suzanne here from that, Justin is here from that group. There's a group of us that have been working on, supporting the planet to go through a series of transformations and transmutations. And we have been working on anchoring a new world into being at a vibrational level, because everything is a vibration. And as a part of that journey, a few weeks ago, we received the presence of about 12 different beings that are new beings that have landed on this planet. So they've been working away. So Suzanne, Justin, thanks to Gaurav, thanks to all of that work that we've done. So all of that is in support of what changes, energetic shifts are to occur as a result of the solar eclipse. Solar eclipse this time is not only about our central sun. It is actually about all the suns that exist across multiple galaxies, going all the way into the grand central sun. The grand central sun is a very cooling energy as that we have with our central sun. So it's literally like invoking a whole variety of the four elements as we know it, as well as the four directions, as well as like a reconnection at a cellular level where people start to remember. And it's a soul level remembrance that is being activated tomorrow. And so literally as the solar eclipse finishes, does its rounds across the world, and the sun emerges again in its full glory, we will actually be experiencing a shift in what we see in the world. Now, there are several people who could feel very challenged as a result of that. Because, there is, even though it may not be comfortable, there is some comfort in the world as we know it. And all we are to do is to hold the space that people feel the discomfort and just stay in the magic of what they have uncovered anyway. And they will emerge into the world as it truly is, which is wonderful, full of wonder, colorful, divinely guided, miraculous, with the lightness of being. And that is what is being made available tomorrow. Yes, it is the end of the world as we know it, which is the end of the matrix. Now, whenever something ends like this, it could be a physical condition, or it could be a physical ailment, or it could be anything at all. When something comes to an end, it stops existing physiologically, but the energy signature remains, which keeps that vibration in place. So the more of us that really start acknowledging and recognizing the magic and wonder that is starting to be made available to us and be made visible to us, the faster all of the planet will actually catch up. The good news is, we have the anchoring of the fire element already. Which is an element that destroys and transmutates. We have the energy of the air element with the whole virus piece that also has been anchored. So it blows away so that very clearly, an amplification can take place of that which truly matters. We also have the anchoring of the water element, and the earth element has been activated to take away any concerns or anxiousness or anguish that anyone may feel. So just imagine each one of you has your own red button. And I've introduced you to Ruby. So just imagine as if you're holding Ruby in the middle of the palm of your hand. So anytime you have any form of anguish, anytime you have people in your life that you're connected to who go into a space of anguish, all you have to do is to just imagine as if you're pressing it down, and the earth is going to take it out. It is no longer going into the core of the earth. It is literally taking it out. And we have many, many celestial beings that are literally taking it out of the orbit of the planet. So it's like, in India, when a baby is born, and then there is a name that, a horoscope gets made, and there's a naming ceremony that takes place. It's a very powerful ceremony that happens. I mean, the name is decided very much based on the energy signature that matches the horoscope. Now, the planet has rebirthed. You've heard me say this, that rebirthing was complete on the 16th of May, 2020. It is as if tomorrow, after the solar eclipse, we are actually going to do this whole naming ceremony of the planet, and which is going to be the naming as in the energetic vibrational frequency. So all of you who are here, and there are others who have been participating in other programs that I've been doing, my message to each and every one is, and everybody who's watching on Facebook, just use tomorrow as a day of actively noticing what's out there that's making your heart sing. Is the green looking greener? Is the blue of the sky looking bluer? Are the monsoon clouds looking even more dashing? Is the monsoon rain feeling different? Just really be out there seeking and noticing and getting yourself into a space of gratitude. So if I was to say to you, what is it that you can do tomorrow? Become a gratitude hunter and just go hunt. Go, and there's a treasure trove, stuff that you're consciously aware of, stuff that might be in your subconscious, and stuff that will be shown to you in the form of signs. Just go for it. Go on this treasure hunt and seek out and hunt what it is that you can be grateful for. And in doing so, this time, not only are you receiving gratitude, you're actually sharing that gratitude. Sharing the gratitude, recognizing that we coexist. How amazing is that? And if you are able to, doesn't apply to everyone, just make sure that you are responsible for your own comfort. For those of us who are able to, it would be great if you just wake up just before sunrise. And then, make sure that you feel comfortable throughout the day. But just before sunrise will be great for you too, if you can wake up. And as the sun starts to rise, given that it is a really big day for the sun, it is very rare that all the suns, all the way to the grand central sun, go through this kind of an eclipse experience vibrationally. There will be an increased recognition, even in amongst the naysayers, even in amongst those that don't know what this stuff is about, like, the way I used to be previously, where they will feel the vibration. They will start recognizing and acknowledging, that it is really a vibration game. The human vibe, attunement, and I call it beyond meditation, because it literally takes you all the way to that time when our Creator chose to present this world and this human form to our soul presence. When our Creator soul was created as a speck of consciousness and illuminated, just like the Creator light energy is illuminated, it is a very powerful light. Soul can not be diminished. This light cannot be diminished. It cannot be destroyed. It is there. It is always there. And it is there within us. It is the Creator, and it has the power of the Creator in it. And it's a fraction of the Creator that is there within us. So at the time that the soul being was placed to express itself through this human presence, and it was like, okay, great. And and remember, the soul's birth, the birthday is the day the fetus is formed. And when you actually come out into the earth, that is your first birthday. And Sarah, I know you've always wished everyone, happy first birthday. And it's no accident, because there's a knowingness that exists in all of us, that the day we come out is not really our birthday, it's our first birthday. And until that point of the first birthday, the soul exists in the human form in its full magnanimous regalia, in its full humongous presence of eternalness. And so therefore, it is not confined to the fetus. It is not confined to the body of the mother either. It actually exists beyond that, because it's a vibration. And now it is actually preparing for its new adventure in a human form that is going to emerge. There is an excitement there. And because the soul presence is omnipresent, it picks up dialogues, it picks up experiences, it picks up, whatever conversations are taking place between people. It could be about the soul, or it could be about whatever it is that humans talk about. And it starts to recognize that, oh, this is a confining journey. And I'm supposed to amass a whole collection of experiences through this journey. Two things happen. That conflict sets in about the soul wanting to express itself in its eternalness, in its expanded presence. And there is another piece that happens. It's like an unrequited sadness of separation from source. And there's an unrequited reminiscing that starts to occur at a vibrational level of all the previous soul journeys that it has been on, that have not been on this planet. So many of us have felt from a very young age that what are we doing here? We're not from here. And we connect to other planetary constellations very powerfully. And then it feels like, okay, we just have to endure this human existence, and soul is going to return to being a soul being. And what that does is, that is really at the root of this cycle of birth and rebirth and all of that sort of stuff. The Creator did not create anything to propagate in this way, where there is something unrequited, where there is a sadness of separation, or there is an inner conflict. That was not the intention at all. The intention was to have the soul being present in a human form that is imbued with the vibration of love, which is an amplifying frequency. So the soul presence that can, be, it is omnipresent, it's huge and humongous, can be amplified in this human form and go on an amazing adventure, playing in the playground of relationships. Life was given into the human form, and it was the soul whose agenda was to focus on coming alive. It's difficult to come alive in your completeness if your starting point with the partner that you're coming alive with is rooted in conflict, or rooted in sadness, or rooted in something that is unrequited. Constantly wanting to go back to a memory of an amazing time somewhere else. And of course, language came in. Soul it's a universal language. And the language got created, and then multiple versions of that language got created. And various institutions got created to support the human, as that inner conflict, that little seed of conflict, started multiplying and started being visible at an external level. So it was like literally the era that has just gone, which is foundationed on command and control. It was practically impossible to have the delivery of a recognition and an awakening to each and every human to understand that impossible, in fact, is I'm possible. Even though people heard it, they heard it as this can't happen, as opposed to a blessing of, hey, I'm possible. Now, as the 2020 energies have kicked in, we have been preparing for this time, for a long time. And certainly we have been preparing for this crazy amount of accentuation and multiplication of vibrations that 2020 enables. We've been preparing for that very specifically since 2015. And it's not just our group of Ascended and Descended Masters. There are a few other groups that are also working on this. And there are only 3 that remain at the moment, and they will multiply. Where we have been working towards having a critical mass of humans so that this new understanding, which is what emerged for Gaurav and I on that evening in Mumbai, where we understood the vibe of human is love. And the way to dissolve that inner conflict between the soul presence and its expression through the human form is for the soul being to acknowledge itself as a human, to receive itself as a human, to accept itself as a human. There is a lot that has been done by many, many, many institutions, religious, spiritual, consciousness-raising institutions. A lot has been done to uplift the human through a variety of processes, And it was like, okay, we've just got to cut through all of that. We're coming up to 2020. 2020 is going to amplify and multiply this. Let's get this understanding of the fastest way to uplift the vibe of the human is by having something which is at the frequency, at the vibrational frequency of the creator, acknowledge itself as a human. Because it is, in this form, expressing itself as a human. Keeping itself separate maintains that separation to trauma and keeps fueling that deep-seated inner conflict. So having the soul being acknowledge itself as a human, receive itself as a human, and accept itself as a human literally skyrockets and uplifts the vibration of the human form. And it lands in a recognition that it is love. There is a lot to be understood about the soul itself and the human form in terms of its originating design. And we will, as we go on, share snippets of it. Because it's a very, very important understanding, but quite different than what might be available to us up to now. And it is something that literally brings a very solid foundation from which to continue to raise your consciousness. So let's begin with 946 breaths. You're all already connected and grounded with the golden cord, with shungite, as well as the precious stone emerald. And we're going to begin by, first of all, 946 breath. The 946 breath, not only does it align your mind brain, your heart brain, and your gut brain, and as my friend JP shared, it also opens up the 13 chakras that are now required and are available to us. So the 9 opens up 9 chakras. There are 7 that we recognize. It opens up the others. And 4, when you hold, literally unblocks the others chakras. So we have all 13 that are open. And when you breathe out to the count of 6, it's like releasing all that no longer serves through that out breath of 6. So let's breathe in to the count of 9, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a very powerful DNA activation that we are invoking today. It's a great time tomorrow during the solstice and the solar eclipse for the DNA activation to get even further anchored and amplified. So as you bring about that harmony between the soul presence and the human form, the activation of the DNA starts to amplify, and that amplified activation takes hold. What we begin today will continue in terms of its vibrational impact on you over the next 21 hours. So let's begin the communication from your soul being to your human presence. You are anchored and rooted in your human form, receiving yourself, honoring yourself, acknowledging yourself as the vibration of love. Opening all your channels from the roots as well as to the cosmic connection. Opening all of them, standing tall, sharing the amplification capability of this vibration of love. Allow yourself to receive this communication from your soul presence. Allow yourself to rise with it as you express that experience of complete harmony and oneness into the world. I acknowledge myself as a human. I receive myself as a human. I accept myself as a human. I acknowledge myself as a human. I receive myself as a human. I accept myself as a human. I acknowledge myself as a human. I receive myself as a human. I accept myself as a human. I acknowledge myself as a human. I receive myself as a human. I accept myself as a human. I acknowledge myself as a human. I receive myself as a human. I accept myself as a human. I acknowledge myself as a human. I receive myself as a human. I accept myself as a human. I acknowledge myself as a human. I receive myself as a human. I accept myself as a human. I acknowledge myself as a human. I receive myself as a human. I accept myself as a human. Take your right hand and just put it over your solar plexus, and your left hand just over your navel. The solar plexus is very powerfully nurtured by the yellow light of the sun, and your sacral chakra is very powerfully activated by the orange also emanating from the sun. And just one last acknowledgement from the soul. For today, I acknowledge myself as a human. I receive myself as a human. I accept myself as a human. Take your hands in front of your heart and rub them against each other. Put them over your eyes. Take them on top of your head, the back of your head, either side of your neck. With that, I declare the human vibe attunement session complete. We always love to hear what you are present to in terms of one word that encapsulates what you are present to right now. So if you would like to, you can leave, and if you would like to, you can go to the chat and share your word. The DNA activation, while you're sharing your words, the DNA activation, how does it express itself in our physical body? It does express itself physiologically. And you feel tingles. For me, I receive lots and lots of waves of tingles up and down my upper arm. And sometimes you may also feel that tingling in your scalp. You may feel as if your spine is being stretched, as if your neck is being stretched. And it's really just because your spine is recalibrating. You may feel a little bit of gurgling in your tummy area. And that's because the solar plexus is getting back into its original space. And that is recalibrating the adjustment that the intestines have done to accommodate the shift of the solar plexus from its originating space. So as it returns, your intestines start to recalibrate. So just be aware of all of that. The 946 breath is a very powerful breath that will enable you to remain aligned and be grounded. Some beautiful words that are being shared here. Thankful, humanness, peace, gratitude. Peace, gratitude, gratitude, love, excited with love. Magic, human coherence, joyful oneness, peaceful, love and light. Happy, raining day. Baby Gaia, yes. Beautiful, happy naming day, Baby Gaia, yes, indeed. Yeah. So with that, I would like to just say namaste, honoring the divine in you, just as I honor the divinity in myself. There are many of you here who've been a part of my journey, where we anchored the World Dignity Movement, dignity being an honoring of one's own worthiness, and that is what this enables to occur and happen. We seeded it. We had a powerful seeding ceremony last year, and the sapling is turning into a little plant now. This deep-seated inner conflict, the trauma of separation, that sadness was what prevented us from honoring our own worthiness, and we started seeking validation from outside of us. And what this body of work does, it literally brings you into you. And you start becoming into you. You don't have to wait for something or someone outside of you to be into you. I'm seeing big beaming smiles here. Really, that's great. And remember, when you smile, complete the process. The process is you smile, a big beaming smile, and swallow that smile. And as you swallow that smile, every cell, every nanocell receives that smile, because it goes down your digestive tract, and literally it is something that is absorbed instantly. So every cell, every nanocell in your body starts to smile. So when you meet people, I mean, it's so symbolic, right? We are all supposed to be wearing these masks now, so people can't see us smiling. But if your cells are smiling, you are received with a smile. And it multiplies a gazillion fold. So just go for it. Every time you smile, just take that little swallow of that smile. Thank you so much for being here with us. Thank you. And we'll see you again on Tuesday